Here we are again. A bit more therapy, a little bit more sharing, caring about each other. Maybe we should sit in a circle and hold hands and tell each other about the problems we have in PI planning. For example, this is one I see on a reasonably regular basis, but the interesting thing is it happens almost always at the same time. PI planning therapy, where you come for all your help with PI planning. It's the best therapy you'll ever get, better than drugs. So the art launched, or the arts, the solution where, hey, 7 arts maybe. They launched and they're running, and they got through their first PI, and their second one, and their third one. Now the team's going, hey guys, we've been feeding back about some problems, some challenges, and they don't seem to be getting better. Why is that? Oh, we've addressed all your issues. We've solved them. Really? Because the last 3 PIs we've complained about this or that and nothing's happening. And you know what? We've also, in our retros, been saying, there are certain problems like the definition of done's too complicated, or the documentation is too big, or the process for getting approvals for XYZ is difficult and it needs to be simplified. Yeah, but we've done everything we can. Well, there we go. Quite often what's happening and what I notice, and especially in PI planning, especially young organizations who are, and I don't mean young in terms of the organization, but young arts or young safe implementations or young agile implementations. What's happened is they've started to implement it. So you've implemented the planning or the review process or the gallery walk or the draft plan review or whatever it happens to be. You've implemented these things and they've become sacred. And when those things become sacred and the world moves on, the teams evolve, your products evolve, your environments evolve. But when those things are sacred, you're not allowed to change them. And that violates Pillar 4 of the House of Lean, which is relentless improvement. And what's happening is people are not applying that pillar to everything. There is nothing off the books when it comes to relentless improvement. It's the same with the other pillars, respect for people and innovation, etc. It's the same for those. Nothing is off the books. But the one that's normally being ignored, or really the one that's kicking in, is that relentless improvement. Because people are saying, oh, we can't change the time PI planning starts. It says in the book and in the training and on the website, must start at 8 o'clock. We have to start at 8 o'clock. Maybe that's unpractical for your situation. Or it says, oh, you have to have the architecture and they have to present this. But maybe that's not right for your situation. What's happened is you've allowed these processes or practices or these agendas to become sacred and holy cows and untouchable. And what's happened is your organization is now evolving beyond the kickstart, jumpstart element that SAFE gives you so superbly to jumpstart. Your organization is evolving beyond that jumpstart and now starting to need to continue to evolve. It must be set free of the constraints of having to do certain processes exactly one way. Now, what you need to do at that point, you don't abandon the process. You don't go, oh, well, SAFE was wrong. It was right. It was the right thing to do to jumpstart you. Now you need to look at what was the intent. What was, maybe to misuse a SAFE term, the strategic intent, the strategic outcome that we wanted from this process or this event. Now, how can we achieve that in our new context, in our new level of evolution, and the new way of thinking that we have? Because we're not beginners anymore. And to give you, I'll give you a bit of a story. So, my brother is a great badminton player, really spectacular badminton player, and now he's also a very good coach. But when he first, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, when he first started to coach me, for example, he was terrible. Because he was coaching from where he is and not coaching from where I am. And now he's a superb coach and able to coach from where everybody is. But the practices that you get when you start with SAFe are the practices you need to start with SAFe. And the expectation, the reason we have this relentless improvement pillar is, the expectation is that you will continue that journey. And if you get stuck, it's because you're treating those practices as sacred and you're preventing yourself from continuing that journey. I've been using SAFe for more than 8 years now. And I do a lot of stuff very different from where it started. But if you look at the outcomes I pursue, the objectives that I have, 80% of them are exactly where they started. It's just I achieve it and pursue it in a different way now with my more mature arts, because they now have the skills and ability. They can now do a backhand slice, where at the beginning we had to do a simple double-handed backhand. Very simple, hitting it back. But now we've been playing for 6 months. Now we can do a slice and we can do a curveball. And you need to allow that to happen, because if you don't, your evolution will stall. If your evolution stalls, your teams will see it. If the teams see it, your progress in terms of your efficiency and effectiveness and bringing better problems, better solutions to market will stall too. So you'll get stuck. So if you find yourself in a situation where the teams are saying, hey, we're reporting the same problems in my PI planning over and over again, or my PI as a whole, maybe it's time to look around and see, have I created any sacred cows? Have I said you can only do a scrum of scrums this way? You can only do a draft plan review this way? Because the truth is, it's the outcome of the draft plan review. If you can do the best draft plan review on the planet using bananas, then do it. I know that sounds silly, but you really need to be truly creative. Don't use, well, maybe, I have never used bananas, so maybe it works. But you understand what I mean. Start being creative, start being innovative, not just in the product you deliver, but in the way that you deliver it. And stick to the core meaning and fundamental outcomes from SAFe, and innovate on how you achieve those, and you will just fly far more than you can possibly, far more than I could ever possibly imagine when I see some of the arts that I've worked with, when they go just do amazing things far beyond what the framework came with, but fully in line with what the framework's intent and outcomes is. So a bit on the serious side there, but really it's, if you want to be a great agile organization, if you want to be a great innovative organization, if you want to be a great SAFe organization, that relentless improvement, that's a mantra for everybody and everything all of the time. Better tomorrow than I was yesterday. Better the day after than I was the day before, every single day from now on. So thanks for coming to the serious session of the PI planning therapy. I promise next time we'll be full of sweetness and light, as if we're on Prozac, because that makes everybody happy. See you next time on PI planning therapy.